What you want me to radiate my prostate? Go to hell. 1 in 8, yeah. Who knows what's right? Current treatment's garbage. Most men are left impotent. 1 in 8.
Welcome to the first episode of Customs Talking Cancer. I'm your host, Avery Lucas, and with me today is the Executive Director and founder of Customs Kicking Cancer, Daniel Lucas, who is also my father. So, Dan, thank you for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, of course. I have a couple of questions for you today, especially about your charity and why you wanted to start it. So my first question would be, what inspired you to start Customs Kicking Cancer?
Well, the real inspiration to start Customs Kicking Cancer was my father's ongoing 15-year battle with prostate cancer. He was first diagnosed in 2009 and had such an aggressive form of cancer at the time that by 2010 he had already had his prostate removed. We thought he was in the clear by 2016. It had returned and the living cells were continuing to grow around the surrounding tissues even though he had had his prostate removed. And that led to a pretty awful 40 rounds, 5 days a week for 8 weeks straight of radiation. Once that took place, even though he had had the radiation, the prostate cancer continued to grow and spread into his lymph nodes. And in 2022, his PSA levels had continued to rise. So he had to go under hormone therapy, which now he is currently taking 15 different types of medications daily, all of which have severe side effects. My dad rode motorcycles his whole life. Your grandfather did, and we didn't really know him on anything but a motorcycle. And this pretty much ended his riding career, not to mention that the health issues, his ending his charisma and just his contagious energy levels that he would spread to everybody. So he's never been back on a two-wheeled bike again. He can't afford to get on a three-wheel tri-glide. So for all intents and purposes, not only did he have health issues, but it really changed the man he was. So that gave me the inspiration to start Customs Kicking Cancer and to kind of document his journey and spread the word.
Yeah. So, and what happened to his motorcycle now?
Well, that's a pretty special story. He had and loved a 1998 Harley-Davidson Springer Softail, a Heritage Springer Softail. Yeah. So we took that bike, the charity took that bike from him, and we've teamed with the local bike builder called the A&D Custom Cycles right here in Finleyville, Pennsylvania. And we've pretty much stripped it down all the way to the frame. Have spent over a year turning this into a one-of-a-kind custom bike, and that's really going to be the showpiece for Customs Kicking Cancer. It's going to travel with us across the country to all the events. It's going to be on display. We're going to enter into bike shows and hopefully draw a lot of different attention and help to spread awareness for prostate cancer.
Yeah. And I luckily got the chance to go see the bike with you and Ian at A&D, so that was a good experience. We got some footage there, so I think we should take a look at that.
Finleyville, Pennsylvania, with Ian, the owner of A&D Custom Cycles. Behind us is really the first debut of Picante, which has been, I don't know, Ian, a journey for about a year now?
Sure, a little over a year, but yes.
Yeah, so Ian and I talked a little over a year ago about Customs Kicking Cancer and really the journey of my father, Dan Sr., and his bike, which started out as a 1998 Harley-Davidson Softail Springer. And he rode that bike and loved that bike his whole life. And when he was struck with prostate cancer and started going through the different therapy of radiation, chemotherapy, like so many other cancer fighters and prostate cancer survivors, he didn't have the strength, he didn't have the ability to ride a two-wheel motorcycle anymore. So his bike sat, and it sat for over a decade. About a year and a half ago, CKC talked to him, and we asked if we could take the bike and turn it into the showpiece of Customs Kicking Cancer. And I talked to Ian. Ian was very excited about it as a cancer survivor himself. It really was a personal meaning to him. And we both agreed to start on this journey, and we took that 98 Springer, pretty much broke it down.
All the way down.
All the way down, and we're hoping to debut this in Daytona for Daytona Bike Week this coming first week of March 2025. Ian, if you wouldn't mind taking a couple minutes and really talking about the amazing journey that this bike has undergone, and there's not much left of it that's stock. There is a couple
key elements of it are still stock, being the frame and the Springer front end. But we did send the frame and the front end out to be chromed, and they did a lot of metal fab, smoothing a lot of stuff out.
Well, and you can see that in here, right? I mean, this is a stock piece that they didn't polish, and then as you get into this swing arm and into the frame, I mean, they have hours and hours of polishing and chroming the parts that will be exposed. Really turned out incredible.
Absolutely. So that would be pretty much the only parts besides the front fender from the original bike. So it truly is a ground up.
And that's all getting painted now, just right down the road, right?
Yes, we fortunate to have our painter in Finleyville, close to the shop. So we start with the power plant, the engine. It's a 124 S&S engine, chrome and polished covers on it, followed with a Jim's 6-speed, also chrome and polished aluminum. Air shocks on the rear, so the bike will be able to drop and raise. It'll have a center stand on it, so you can drop it down to that center stand and it'll sit.
And that compressor and stuff isn't in there yet, but eventually it'll be mounted in this area.
Right, all the electronics, the compressor, everything will be hidden behind the front wheel. The wheels are SMT, Big Daddy, 21 inch on the front, 18 inch on the rear.
And we put, you can see here, we put in a lot of 12 point, there's almost no factory bolts.
No, we're changing everything to a stainless APR, ARP stainless polished hardware through the entire bike. It's been a long, journey to get to here, but so far we're pretty happy with the results.
Oh yeah, the Springer front end obviously is stock. The Springer front end is stock, but we re-chromed it actually with the same owner at the same shop that did the original chroming for Harley Davidson back in 1998.
Sure.
This is the bike for CKC. Like I said, we're hoping to have this debuted at Daytona Bike Week this year. First week of March, CKC will be there as usual with our booth, talking about prostate cancer, giving away free PSA rapid test kits to be able to test and see different levels of your PSA levels. If you're in need, please come see us. Come see the bike. That will be its debut item, or the debut time that will be really bringing it out to the public for the very first time. Come see it. It'll be fully assembled. It'll have all the paint on it. It'll really be a remarkable bike. You should really come see it in person. Follow us on Facebook or Instagram to find out where we're going to be at the bike show, different things that we'll be doing throughout the week, and hope to see you all soon. Stay healthy. Keep up the fight.
So that was some footage from when we got to go see Picante, and it was a great experience to look at that bike firsthand before they've been able to finish it and paint it. But for my next question, it seems like prostate cancer is very serious for men, so can you tell us a little bit about the disease more?
I'd love to. It can be a pretty complicated disease, but to just try and keep it pretty simple, prostate cancer starts when the cells in the prostate gland start growing out of control. And only men have a prostate gland, so it's important to note that this is a cancer that's only in men. Women can't get it. And in some cases, the cancer grows pretty slow. And in those situations, usually the recommended treatment is just to monitor it and see how it goes. But There's other types where it can be very aggressive, like my father's, and that requires some, if not all, of different treatments, from radiation to chemotherapy to hormone therapy and obviously surgery, which your grandfather and my dad has pretty much had all of these in the last 15 years. But the most important action when it comes to prostate cancer is early detection. And ideally, we want to discover prostate cancer before there is a biopsy detectable tumor. And in the absence of early detection, about 40 to 50% of all the tumors that go on to be clinically diagnosed, 5 to 10% end up being metastasized by the time that they are clinically diagnosed. And unfortunately, up to about 25% of men that get a biopsy diagnosed tumor unfortunately die. So I think this is a really important thing to summarize here and just make simple.
Yeah.
Early detection is the key. And if you don't have early detection, by the time you're diagnosed with a biopsy detectable tumor, up to 25% of men are typically dying from that result.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely scary.
It's scary. It's a big number.
And to avoid that late detection, what should men be doing to help prevent that?
Well, as I said earlier, early detection is the key. That's really the easiest thing that we can do. And that's really the mission of Customs Kicking Cancer, is these PSA blood tests. So a PSA stands for a prostate-specific antigen. It's only produced by the prostate, and it can be tracked and it can be detected. So a PSA blood test is really the best thing that we can be doing, and that's what CKC gives away, is these test kits that is a rapid in-home test kit that takes about 10 minutes, and you could do it in your home. And that's the best thing, and what really every man should be doing annually if you're at risk.
Yeah. And so where do you guys give these out? Like, where can people find these at?
We give those out. You could always contact us on our webpage or on any of our social media directly, and we would be more than happy to send this to you if in need. We try to focus at different events. We go to different events, to rallies, car shows. We always have these, and we can simply hand these out to men if anybody needs them or wants them.
Yeah, that's definitely a great thing to do. So I don't think I have any more questions for you today. Thank you for coming on the show and talking about prostate cancer with us. It's something I think a lot of people need to learn about. So if you want to learn more about this and see them, you can follow the Instagram. There's a Facebook. Come to the rallies, as my dad was saying. And yeah, thank you so much for watching.
What you want me to radiate my prostate? Go to hell. 1 in 8, yeah. Who knows what's right? Current treatment's garbage. Most men are left impotent. 1 in 8. Blue is the color. Father, sons, husbands, the brothers, we love ya. 1 in 8. Blue is the color. Father, sons, husbands, the brothers, we love ya. Listen up, badass football star. Cancer's got you on the radar. TJ Watt, the pigskin taker. Be aware and wear blue, you playmaker. PGA and MLB, where's the blue? What will it take for us to count on you too? A damn foot race, 1 in 8 will be chased. Just you, all alone, locked in a cancer cage. Where's our month? We earned it, we fought. September is ours, or so we thought. A man dies every 15 minutes, it's crickets. The silence is deafening. Trust us, we hear it.